Go, episode 7 of Lazarus. So as we stumble into episode 7, we get a little bit deeper meaning of what this man Skinner is trying to do. As the name Lazarus resembles the background of this show, we always have to keep that in mind, that there is some type of biblical connotation that this man Dr. Skinner is trying to play. So as we jump into episode 7, we see a few things. He is somewhat of a humanitarian. This episode opens up by showing the collapse of Antarctica, the last ice island on planet Earth. As we said, he was ahead of his time. He was somebody who was always looking towards the future. And in one of his speeches that he gave, he said that in approximately 3 years, the largest ice land will fall off the face of the earth. Does that mean he is a prophet? Does that mean he is touched by God? Well, his biblical connotation kind of hints towards that. He also states in there that he is going to be the seventh trumpeter. So again, in the biblical text, in the biblical scene, he is seen as a prophet in his own eyes. Very cocky, but he is going to bring it to full circle. This man, Dr. Skinner, is not only playing chess with Team Lazarus, but he is playing chess with the world. We also see in episode 7 that he is really trying to get in touch with Lazarus. He wants Team Lazarus to understand where he is coming from. We get to dive a little bit deeper into this by seeing that he has bought 4 islands. So he's playing chess while everybody is behind the 8 ball playing checkers. This man bought 4 islands way in advance of Hapna. He bought 4 islands ahead of the research facility, and his plan is going exactly the way he wants it to. We get to see this by him leading Team Lazarus with all different types of hints. Some of the hints are showing them to these islands. So there are 4 members of Team Lazarus, Axel, Christine, and the rest of the gang, and they all end up going to a separate island. The island is underwater, just as he predicted. 3 years have passed, and there is nothing left besides people who used to live there. Ironically, along with buying the islands, he somewhat bought the inhabitants. So they look to him as a prophet. One of the people who are driving Axel around on the boat, he says, "Thanks to Dr. Skinner, we're able to live in peace. We're able to live without any pain." Axel then, with his quick thinking and intuition, immediately asks, "Well, didn't you take Hopna?" And he says no. So there are a few people still left in the world that have not taken Hopna. Just like in the last episode with the necessary cult, the Amish, he wants to get them to understand that there are people who have pain and there are people who just need to be exposed to the earth. This is a very different episode compared to the rest. And what I mean by that is there's not a lot of talking. I've been shitting on this anime for the last 7 weeks, and I have to give credit where it's due. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm going to tell you. And we definitely see that in episode 7. I was wrong. This man is playing so far ahead in the future that it's hard for someone to understand. It's hard for the team to understand that. So you have the Amish, the Protestants. You have people who are away from centralized society. You have these islands, these 4 islands, Manila, Ishigi, and a couple others that are completely away from people. Since he bought that, the people who habitate that, they are disconnected. They are one with themselves. They have their natural healing. And in the cinematic, we get to see it. Everything is underwater, so people are on roofs. They are on boats. They are one with the earth. All they have is the ocean and the sky. And one of the quotes that Christine says is, "Look at us at our most primal self with the ocean and the sky." I forgot how blue it was. This really does hit home, and this hits really hard because you got to think about us in 2025 as we are going around. We're on our phones. We have emerging AI. We've got Twitter. We've got Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. We've got all these different things going on in the world that we don't get outside and we don't touch the grass. I think that's what Skinner was really trying to drive home in episode 7. He wants them to understand that he developed Hapna for a reason. He wants people to get out and do the natural healing. There isn't a quick fix. There isn't a break in case of emergency. You have to go through things to grow better. And I think that's what he is really trying to push home on episode 7. We get to see that because the people on the island, they did not take Hapna. They were in a predicament where the water was starting to rise. They were in a predicament where the oceans were rising and it was going to flood their entire town. Instead of taking Hapna, they became one with the earth again. And I think that's what he is trying to push home. But as we enter into episode 7, we get a new character. This is a character who has some type of background with Skinner, but we're not too sure. To me, it's kind of weird that with only 6 episodes left, you're going to start introducing new characters. But if that's what they want to do, that's what we're going to talk about. So we don't get too much information except that the genius, the brains of the whole operation, Elaine, finds this character in the back of this pamphlet. The dragon's lair, the dragon key that they were able to confiscate from the island. After she's done decoding and finding out about it, they find this distinct character. It's kind of odd that they would bring him up with only 6 episodes to go, but there's something to it. Also, Herschel, the main lady who's brought the whole entire team together, she meets with her old comrade, and they are talking about various things. We get to see in this episode that they are looking at some very historical pictures. One of the biggest ones that comes to mind is actually Lazarus. Like I said, depending on how you want to interpret this, you can look at Lazarus as an unsung hero. You can kind of look at him as a good guy or a bad guy, kind of like a Thanos. He didn't want to die. Everything that he wanted to do in life was to live forever. He wanted to be brought back from the dead. So is that what Dr. Skinner's interpretation is? He is going to be the one to call quote unquote God. He is going to be the one to cleanse earth, and only the natural ones will be the ones survive. The ones who are not trying to escape reality. The ones who are trying to go through something and actually endure this pain. That is where the happening is, and that is where we are on this series. So it was very insightful. It goes a few layers deeper than a lot of people are willing to accept and enjoy. But that's something about anime that you have to enjoy. Whenever something like this happens, you just gotta sit back, relax, and take it in strides. And I think Dr. Skinner is playing the long game, and we don't even see it coming. So that's what I got out of the episode. That's episode 7. I'm still trying to figure out why we're not seeing the main characters. I'm really trying to figure out on why we're bringing in new characters with only 6 episodes left. But as we go deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, I think Dr. Skinner is going to try to reveal something to us that we all can relate to. But that's the review. Let me know what you thought about it so far. Let me know what you thought about this last episode. And I'm going to see you all in the comments. See you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all.